We made it to Tuesday. Welcome in, welcome in. I am Jill, and this is your Phoenix Renewal Hour. Welcome. Come on in. Make sure you are liking this live if you are in this room and sharing it out. We are going to get talking about everything very quickly. Let's get going. Bring up that energy. Let's go. What's going on? There we go. You can get some music going. Make sure you are liking the live and sharing it out. Let's get people in the room. I am Jill. I'm here live at 5 every single day, Monday through Friday, to do our Phoenix Renewal Hour for women and transformation. And we go into it. We talk about it all. So come on in. Let's get going today. Welcome, welcome. Welcome in, welcome in. All right. Welcome, welcome. It is time. It is time for your Phoenix Renewal Hour. Welcome in. Thank you for liking the live. Let's share this out. Let's get people in the room. We made it to Tuesday. Woo! Hello. Oh my gosh. It's barely Tuesday. It's already been a week. Thank you so much for liking the live. I appreciate you. Oh my gosh. So your Phoenix Renewal Hour, Monday through Friday, 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Come on in and let's get started. We are 7 minutes past the hour. So if you are watching on TikTok, by the way, I am like 33 followers away from 1,000. So if we can get a bunch of follows and tonight, that would be amazing if I could hit 1,000 tonight. So if you can share this out to as many people as you can, I would love to hit 1,000 followers tonight. It will give me so many more tools to use during our live. So it'll just give me more tools. So if we can get this live out to as many people as possible and get that follower count all the way to 1,000 tonight, I would be happy to celebrate. I'm so excited to get there. I need those tools. There's so many limitations on lives when you don't have all the followers, so I'm like 33 away. So if you can share out this live, I would really, really appreciate it. If you are on TikTok, if you are following me on YouTube, thank you so much. Make sure you are subscribing and hitting the bell so that you're notified every time we go live. I am here every Monday through Friday, 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time for your Phoenix Renewal Hour. And we are almost 10 minutes past the hour, so we are going to get started. And hopefully by the time the hour is over, I get to that 1,000 on TikTok. If we get that all shared out, I can't wait to get some of those tools. Woo! So many restrictions that you get on these platforms when you don't have the follower count, but it comes, and it's the things that we talk about on here with our next becoming and our goals. It's one step at a time. Yesterday, our teaching was what? Chop wood, carry water. Chop wood, carry water before enlightenment and after enlightenment. That is the journey. So hopefully I get to the 1,000 tonight. I've been working up my way towards that over the last month or so of coming live every day. So hopefully it gets there, and hopefully I get more subscribers on YouTube soon too. We just started doing lives on YouTube, I think like 2 weeks ago. So it's slow, it's steady, but I'm happy for the growth. I'm very excited that there is growth happening. It's fun to watch, it's and to experience. Oh my gosh. So I've been playing around with social media for a little over a year now. I started trying to build up my following on a different account on TikTok, doing TikTok shop stuff and trying to sell things. And I was like, that is not for me. I do not like that. That is too much. That is way too much of a grind. But that's what everything's about here, right? So it's finding what we like, what fits, what works for us that we can turn into our own steady stream of income. Hello, Diego. Welcome in. And so, yeah, That's part of the stuff. So yeah, I'm going through a journey too, man. Like I'm going to tell you some more about my ideas that I am having. Hey, oh my gosh, all my comments on YouTube just blasted through immediately. Hello, hello. It's a very tarot reading background. I don't know how to read tarot cards, but that would be a fun thing to do. Hi, Hossein. I have a deck of oracle cards that I bought at a Celtic Nordic type festival. What is that festival called? With the Scottish people throwing the logs? What is it called? Scotland, Highland. It was a Highland Games. Highland Games. I went to the Highland Games a couple years ago, and there was a booth there with a whole bunch of stuff. I'm doing well. How are you? And you're from Trinidad, Jesse. Welcome. Thank you. But I found some oracle cards there, and I was like, "Oh, those are neat." So I picked them up. I have just looked at them, but no, I am not at all a. I'm not that. I just thought they were really pretty. I liked the art, and I would love to learn. So that's something that I'm probably going to do in my future is learn how to read tarot. But no, I don't know how to do that. This is just because I am into the phoenix and all the mythology around that. I am all about transformation, burning it all down and starting fresh. I've done that multiple times in my life and getting ready to kind of do that again in January. And I'm going to talk about that some more tonight, too. So, I am in America. I'm in Arizona. In fact, I'm having a weird day. I'm wondering if it's been on the news, but here in Phoenix, Arizona, we had like a dust storm overnight, kind of early in the morning hours last night. And all that dust from that storm just settled in the valley. Like no wind was happening all day today. And so we've just had this brown air all day. It's just been awful, just awful. And I've been feeling actually really sick today. I almost didn't come on live because I have like allergies and all that crap in the air was just killing me today. Fellow Arizona, yeah. Are you in Phoenix? Did you have to deal with all that? So, like, I work in downtown, and so I'm in a high rise building and I can't even see the mountains, and we're in a valley. We're surrounded by mountains. You couldn't see anything. I couldn't even see the airplanes coming down to the airport. Like we normally are just watching airplanes all day. I couldn't see anything. It was so gross. So gross. You like my eyes? Thank you. Yeah. So it's been a day. It's been really weird. So happy to be here. Happy to be in my house. I'm sitting next to, you can't see it on TikTok, but on YouTube, it's my Lenovo air filter right here, blowing filtered clean air in my face, making me feel better every second I'm here. Instead of breathing in all that dirt that we've been breathing in all day here in Phoenix, it's just been god awful. Oh my God. Oh no, well, I'm glad you missed it. I'm glad you're on vacation because oh my goodness, it is just ugh. It's kind of gone away. I got a window in front. It's kind of gone away mostly now. You can see the sky and some distance, but the further you look out, you can see that brown haze again. But yeah, I work downtown too, and it was so gross. I didn't want to go outside for any of my breaks, nothing. I just like went to my car because I didn't want to be in my office for the entire shift. I wanted to take my breaks, get out of the environment, right? And then, I went into my car because I couldn't go for a walk or anything because the air quality was just, oh, it's just awful. Thank you so much for liking the live. I am trying to get up to 1,000 followers on TikTok. So if you share this out, I would so appreciate it. I am so close. I'm like 30 followers away from 1,000 on TikTok so I can get more tools for the lives. And I definitely need more subscribers on YouTube. But you have to have like 500 for the program I want to be on. And I'm at like 161 or something on YouTube. But I just started going live 2 weeks ago for that. But oh my gosh. Welcome in. Thank you for coming in. Make sure you are liking and sharing this out. I am trying to get to 1,000 followers. I really appreciate it. Oh, thank you. Oh man, I know. There's like no snow right now. That's for darn sure. Oh my gosh. Oh, so where are we in the sky tonight, anyways? Has anybody looked, or are you just waiting for me to tell you? Yes, let's look at what the astrology is today. So let's see. I got my notes. I got notes. So last night we had Mars out of bounds, Aries moon, which was bold action, the leap. Tonight, the moon moves into Taurus and everything slows way down. Ground down, like grounding energy, right? We're going to get real, right? So when we think of grounding energy, we think of the earth, or even like our sacral chakra, right? Our safety, our security. So I that's what I think of when I think grounding down and getting real. So anyway, Taurus moon is actually about being built. Okay, so not the inspiration, it's about the foundation of what you're building. So tonight, the Sun trine Saturn builds to a peak tomorrow. The sky is specifically rewarding women who have been doing the unglamorous daily work of showing up, right? The before enlightenment, chop wood, carry water. After enlightenment, chop wood, carry water. So we are getting a little bit of a spotlight on doing our mundane part of our work to get us we're past the inspiration part. It's not so glamorous and exciting anymore, but we got to do the daily work to get to the end point, right? So that's what this Sun trine Saturn is about, right? Doing the ordinary, but getting recognized for it, because it is building a foundation of something that is going to be lasting. So, whatever that dream is of yours that you're building, if you're doing it right now with the divine inspiration and universal blessings, now is a great time. So, we're building the foundation part of our dream. Hello. Hi, Janine. Is it Jeannie? Welcome, Jeannie. Oh my goodness. Thank you, Ferris. Thank you. I am like 30 away from 1,000 followers on TikTok. If you can share this out, I would appreciate it so much so that we can get some more people in this room. I really appreciate it. Oh my gosh. All right. So let's talk about that. So that is really this community that I'm building, that theme of just kind of getting through to our next becoming, right? To what we're looking for. So me in the call center every day in Phoenix, then coming home, writing scripts, going live at 5 p.m. every day. That's my daily grind to get to my goal, to my finishing point, that what I want to achieve by January of this year, when I'm doing a big change in my life. A big change is happening for me in January, right? So tonight we're going to talk about what some of that looks like. We're going to talk about the dream, because after last night, I think I can give you a little bit more of the story and what I'm building and what I think is going to be amazing in my future and yours too, if you want to share it with me. So my dream is this magical destination place that I want to create. Thank you so much for liking the live. Um, I'll be moving to Minnesota in January, and I would love to buy some acreage and build a destination location that people will want to go to, right? If you build it, they will come, right? So my family lives up there, and my sister is very spiritual as well. And we would combine forces, and we want to build this mushroom village. And it would have like these little mushroom cottages, and then a town square with a bakery named after my grandmother. We'd call it Grandma Opal's Bakery. And there would be a garden where we would grow fresh fruits and vegetables, and maybe there are berries in the garden. We go pick some berries and go to Grandma Opal's Bakery. Let's make a tart with it today, and we'll have it for a snack this afternoon, right? Um, the response in the comments last night was wonderful, wonderful. Thank you so much. I said I love the support. Thank you so much. And I wasn't really prepared for everybody else to be so excited about my dream, and I was like so excited to talk about it, and I want to talk about it some more. Women I've never met before were lighting up in the comments saying that they would visit, asking questions, sharing their own dreams in the comments, and dreams there that you guys are all carrying quietly, right? And so I realized that the more I talk about my dreams, it will inspire you to talk about your dreams too and create them into a reality, right? Manifestation is not just magic, it comes from inspired action, right? We have to take steps to make things happen. It can't just be hopes and prayers, right? That just doesn't, that's not it. There is a lot to do with sound frequency, and there's a lot going on. There's a lot of factors. Kuwait, wow, welcome in. That's far away. That's the other side of the earth for me. Oh my gosh. But let's dream out loud. And so when I come on here, I'm not just teaching you the astrology, I'm teaching you to dream and build, because I love to dream and build. I've been called a muse a lot in my life. And I've also been told I have quite a lot of magic in my little finger. And so I like to share that with you. And the more I talk and the more you talk back, the more that magic comes out. So please make sure you are commenting, because it will absolutely inspire something to come out. So let's keep talking. Let's keep talking as we go through this. So let's talk about what's going on tonight. So, do any of you have any dreams that you want to share? Were you one of the people that was here last night that shared in the comments? Let me know about that. I would love to hear it. All your dreams do matter. And so I want to make sure that we say them out loud, acknowledge them, and celebrate them. Hello, Snowy. Hi. Welcome in. Welcome in. Hello, Gummy. Welcome. 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 All right. So I'm going to tell you something. And the practice of writing the dream down, of actually putting words to what you want. Hold on, I'm gonna have to pause this because this will for sure cause a violation. That song will cause a violation on YouTube. It's such a famous song. So when it publishes, it literally will block out my whole life. Anyway, so there is a practice of asking yourself hard questions so that you can learn more about yourself, and that is part of self development, is having the courage to ask yourself questions that maybe you don't really want the answer to because the answers are hard. But learning those answers, really meditating and thinking on those answers, helps us grow as a person. So we need to ask ourselves these questions if our true goal is to grow as a human being, maybe even someday enlightenment, right? So I had gone through a very dark period a few years back after a Phoenix period. And I was living in a house, all of a sudden went from a house of 7+ people to 2 people, and sometimes just me, just one. And it was very quiet, and I was very lonely, and I didn't feel like I had any purpose or any reason to even be alive. What was my purpose anyways? The kids were grown, I wasn't married, and I had spent my whole life really just raising kids and not developing any kind of hobbies or anything that I ever wanted for myself. So I ended up journaling, asking myself these questions. And as I'm doing this and thinking about what makes me happy, a lot of what makes me happy is helping other people. And so it inspired me to think, gosh, if asking all these hard questions of myself is helping me, maybe I should put some of these questions down on paper and offer them up to other people because it might help them. So that is what I did. So I just want to briefly mention that if you do go to my bio, you will find my link tree, and there is my journey to myself. There are 400 journal prompt questions in this book, and it is meant just for that, for personal transformation, for women going through a transformation in their life, whether it's an empty nest, divorce, changing your role, and just not really having ever looked at yourself, and trying to find out who you are. That's what that's about. It's sold on Amazon. It's linked in my bio. So I just wanted to put that out there because that truly made a big difference in my life and getting to where I'm at right now, where I'm feeling bold and brave enough and get past all these vulnerabilities to show up every day live and talk about some of the things that I've gone through, and then to turn it around and be like, yeah, sure, I was being assaulted regularly in my daily life when I was in my past life with my ex-husband, but I got out of that. Then I went to this super lonely place, had to ask all my questions like that I just talked about, right? And then I got to here where I'm now in my dreaming phase again. Like, what do I want for my future? I want a mushroom village. And how did I get there? I'm going to tell you how I got to that later. But yeah, so there's a whole progression that goes on there. And I know that there's people on these apps that go through some stuff in their lives and need to see that there are other people like them in the world going through similar situations, and need to know that you can get out of it and there's light at the other end of the tunnel, and you can get back to that dreaming and building phase where I'm at right now. It is possible. So that's where I'm at. So anyway, so let's go into the astrology. Let's do it. Let's do it. All right. What's this guy doing? Well, it is perfectly timed for everything that we're talking about. The moon has moved into Taurus, and tonight, just after 10 p.m. Eastern, the third quarter moon is exact at 13 degrees Taurus. Okay. Third quarter moon is what astrologers will refer to as an exhale, okay? Or the sacred exhale, sacred exhale. It's the phase between the full moon, which was the buck moon on July 29th, right? And the new moon that's coming up later in the month. So tonight is the exhale, and the exhale is specifically asking, what are you still carrying around that you need to let go of? What are you holding on to that does not serve you? Okay. It doesn't need to be dramatic or a crisis or anything. It's not necessarily a burn the house down kind of situation, right? Just something that's gentle, gently, deliberately, by choice. What are you putting down tonight? What are you carrying around with you that does not serve, that you can put down tonight? Right? For me right now, what I'm releasing under this third quarter moon is the fear that the dream that I have is too big. The whisper that says, who do you think you are to want something like this? Who do you think you are? I am just a single woman living in an apartment, working at a call center. Who am I to believe that I can find a way to make some kind of resort village for all of you and all of my friends and family and everybody else who wants to go visit a mushroom village and stay overnight? Who are you to be able to do that and have that dream? How are you going to make that possible? Right? So, Yeah, that is what I need to release because there's a lot of fear behind doing something like that. I'm leaving a stable job. Nobody's asking me to go. I'm leaving something that will dramatically be different than what I'm doing now. And I'm going to let go of that voice that says, I can't do that. That bold intention, big dreams. And it's possible. You should have big dreams. Why not? Why do we have to believe all these limiting beliefs that other people taught us before we were old enough to make those choices ourselves? We're carrying around other people's beliefs and baggages, and we've got to identify that when it happens. So I'm not interested in believing that because of what my circumstances are today means that I can't do something big tomorrow. And you shouldn't either, right? So I'm releasing that voice. Under this Taurus moon, it's all about building real lasting things, right? Because the dream is not too big. It is not too big. And I'm just not used to living that way and allowing my nervous system to allow things like that, right? So I have to change the way I feel about it. And I feel good, right? And then there's the Sun Trine Saturn, which is building all week and peaks tomorrow. Leo Sun is your bold, creative, authentic self in perfect harmony with Saturn in Aries, the planet of discipline, earned results, and long term building. So, what this means in a practical way is the work you are doing consistently, even on the days the results felt invisible, right? And maybe even it felt pointless. It's compounding right now. You cannot see the results yet, but the foundation is what is being built right now, right? Thank you. Thank you. So, TikTok's statistics, the analytics I got last night, said that last night's live exceeded 98% of creators with similar performance. And that didn't happen in just one brilliant night, right? It happened because I've been showing up consistently day after day, right? The sun trine Saturn. That's what disciplined, consistent work actually looks like when it accumulates, right? And I want to plant a seed tonight for something bigger that's coming. August 12th, 1 week from today, there is a solar eclipse in Leo, a total solar eclipse. And eclipses are not just interesting astrology, they are life changing turning points. The things that shift under an eclipse tend to shift for months and years that follow. So I'll be talking about this all week. So I want to make sure that you are ready for it. But start feeling it now. Something in your life is about to change for the better. Okay. So, what now that we've talked about it a little bit, what do you feel like you could release tonight in this third quarter moon? What do you think you can let go of that's not serving you? What's not serving you? Talking to your soul right now. Oh gosh. Yeah. Yeah. So every morning I sit with at least one Buddhist teaching. Um, this is something that is my actual daily practice. I don't just share content about Buddhism. I actually believe and practice this. Okay. And tonight's teaching was made for Sun, Trine, Saturn, and the third quarter moon combined, right? Right? Yes, all is good. So here is a quote from the Buddha. It says, "You yourself, as much as anybody in the entire universe, deserve your love and your affection." Right? Hello, welcome in. You're coming from Brazil. Welcome. So hold on to that quote for a moment because I think it's one of the hardest teachings the Buddha ever gave, and not really for intellectual reasons, right? It's because of the practical ones. We are so good at extending love to others, right? We have no problem being patient with other people some of the time. I'm sure not always, but sometimes, right? But we definitely tend to be more loving and patient with other people than we are to ourselves. Wouldn't you agree that that's probably close to true for you? I know that it is for me, that I tend to give people a lot of grace because I see that we are all just so imperfect, and I am a bumbling buffoon so much of the time and trip and fall and do dumb blonde crap all the time. How could I possibly judge somebody else? Hello, Calso, right? And listen how I just talked about myself. Is that love or patience towards myself? It's seeing that I have made dumb choices or bumble my words or do dumb blonde shit sometimes. Like, that happens. The guy I'm seeing like just laughs. He's like, "I don't know how you made it this many years in life. You just walk right in front of traffic." I'm like, "I'm just lucky." I have a circle of luck around me. Like, just nothing happens. Like, shit happens. Let's be clear, shit has happened in my life. But like, I tend to walk around with this golden bubble of light around me of happiness, and I'm just like la 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 la, and I try not to let shit get to me. I think one of the lessons that I had to learn this year, especially in the office at work, because I would get feedback that would hurt my feelings all the time because I just really do love everybody and want the best for everybody. And so when somebody is critical of me, it would just hurt my feelings so much. I'm like, but I'm so loving towards you and ignore all of your mistakes, but you're going to point out all of my mistakes. That doesn't feel fair. And so I had to kind of get over that, because people are going to say their feelings, and that's okay. It's okay. I'm not for everybody. Not everybody's going to love me. I understand that. I want everybody to love me because I love everybody, but I'm not so naive to believe that that's true. So it's a lesson that I had to learn this year, um, was to just be observant and not judge. So because I was getting so much feedback from management or whatever, I was feeling very sensitive about just anything that happened in the office, not just the feedback I was getting, and taking everything personal because I was getting so much feedback all of a sudden, which like came out of nowhere, by the way, that I was really getting very insecure on my daily days at work, and shake. I was shook, you know. Um, because all of this was very unexpected for me anyway. And so I just said, you know what? I cannot control what other people are saying. I cannot control what other people are doing. And so when people give me that feedback, all I can do is say thank you and move on, because it is not my responsibility to control other people's feelings and what they say. And I just need to be an observer and just watch what happens and not judge it, not try and control it, because truth is, my 9 to 5 job is not a company that I own. It is not my business. I can only do my job there, what they tell me to do, my job. That's it, not my company. And so, being somebody who is an entrepreneur and has had multiple companies, um, it's so hard to work for somebody else. You want to just grab the reins, take control, and just take care and make everything go the way you think it should go, and then it'll be just great, right? In our minds, and we think this way. Um, but it's not my business, so it's none of my business. I just need to go in when they ask me to go in, do the job they ask me to do, and then leave. Like I don't have a whole lot of sway. Like just do your job and get out. So I'm not taking things personal anymore. And I am just observing and releasing and detaching from it. My whole life, the biggest struggle I've had is detaching and just letting it go. And I finally made some progress on that this year. But that's the thing. It's like you have you get all these little tests through your life for all the little things that you need to work on in yourself. We hear a lot of people talking on these spiritual um pages about shit, I just forgot where I was going. Dang it. I lost my train of thought. I said hi. That's all right. But it's important to do the daily work to get to where you need to go, because we don't get where we are overnight. Not ever. Not ever. So let's release something tonight that doesn't serve us. It's not going to help us out when we go towards our new moon coming up, right? With the solar eclipse. That's a big one. That's a big one. Okay. So I want to talk about releasing that negative self talk, because I just did it earlier. And so I need to also be releasing that during this third quarter moon. But you do deserve, we were talking Buddhism, you deserve your own love more than anything else. We need to get rid of negative self talk. I need to continue to work on this, because I have to live with me every day 24/7, just like you have to live with you 24/7. So, as much grace as we give other people, give yourself even more. Don't beat yourself up. The world will do it for you. So, be kind to yourself, forgive yourself, because you are a human being and you are not perfect. And we are all working towards self improvement. That's why we're here tonight. Be happy for yourself that you are taking this step to watch something like this tonight that is encouraging you to love yourself. That is an act of love for yourself alone, by just being here and listening to me telling you to love yourself. And I mean it. It is so important to love yourself. Thank you, Tinkerbell. I appreciate your comment. That's wonderful. So let's do that. Let's practice that. Okay? Because you deserve your love. You deserve it. Right? And here's a practical piece of everything, because loving yourself also means taking action on your own behalf for your own future, because we plan on living to tomorrow, right? So you need to invest in yourself and in tools that will help you grow yourself, right? So again, in my bio, if you take a look, I have Linktree there, and there is another book link there called AI Side Hustles for Women Over 40. So this is probably the most practical thing I've ever built. It shows you real income paths that you could start today using free or very low cost tools. It doesn't just give you the ideas. This is a fat book telling you very specifically the steps you need to take to start earning your own income if you want to build something for yourself. You did that inner work using My Journey to Myself. You know who you are, you know what you want to do. Now you need to know how to make it practical and build it and earn income doing the thing you love to do. So both those books are linked in my link tree, sold on Amazon. If that's something that you're interested in, please feel free to go up there and check that out. So, what is one way that you can be kinder to yourself tonight? Is there one thing that, maybe something nice that you would tell a friend that maybe you can tell yourself instead? Hmm? What can you do? Hi, sunshine. Just found me. I'm just here. Start drawing. I did. I have so many mock-ups of my mushroom farm, mushroom village, really. So I want to kind of talk about a little bit of inspiration if you're interested in hearing how I kind of, one of the things I think about it a lot. Um, so there is a trip I did in 2022. In June of 2022, I did my first trip to Europe. And I went to, well, it's the only trip I've ever done to Europe, actually. I need to go again. I went to Paris, France, Munich, and Salzburg, Austria. And I thought about all the beautiful things on that trip and what I would love to do again and again and again. And I thought, I built this little mushroom village. I could incorporate all the little things that I loved about my European trip into this village, such as I went to Versailles, the palace where the king and queen of France used to live. And they have these massive gardens, manicured, beautiful mazes and fountains, and just glorious beauty of these European gardens, right? And I'm like, well, what if I had a little section where it was kind of like a manicured garden like that, with really tall hedges, and it'd be like a little secret garden, and you could have tea and cake or whatever, and or maybe just sit there and drink some coffee and have a moment to yourself. Maybe there's some rose bushes in there and a little fountain for some water noise, like. So I was thinking about that. I was thinking about in Munich, there's a couple things in Munich that I really liked. Cobblestone streets. I loved that. I want cobblestone streets all through my little village. And then also, when I came out of my Airbnb in the morning, there was like a farmer's market just right there in the street. So wouldn't it be nice to come out of your little mushroom cottage, and then in front of you is the town square, and you have little shops that you could go to selling fresh fruits and vegetables and fresh baked goods. And maybe there's a little coffee shop and you can have a pastry and some coffee. And there's a little restaurant maybe, and you can get some breakfast there. I don't know, things like that I think are just thrilling and things I love to do. I want to just wake up, walk outside, get to see the neighbors, right? And all have coffee together, share a pastry, catch up and be like, how's your vacation going? Right? Oh, thank you. I appreciate the gift. I appreciate the rose. And then what was one of the other things? Oh, in Munich, there's this, in Germany, there's an English garden. It's not in England, but it's in Munich. And in this English garden was a beer garden where you could get plates of food and steins of beer. And I'm like, what if also in our town square we could have it as a meeting space, and we could have live music, and there'll be twinkle lights at night, and we could do bonfires, we could do sound baths, we could just have a different event every single night at night for entertainment, right? And then like it could I don't know, there'd be walking paths, you go one with nature, everybody could come there with their families, or maybe it could just be like themed weeks and it's just adults, and because the adults maybe want to do things with mushrooms in the mushroom village, I don't know, so things like that could happen, I don't know, I just own the property and design it. What you do there is your business. So anyway, you know, well, I don't think this kind of stuff is in a lot of places, not just Morocco. I'm thinking I'm going to build this in the countryside in Minnesota, and I'm going to start shopping for land starting in January. So I'm going to make this a reality from August to January. We're going to start figuring it out. We're going to figure out a plan. We're going to figure out the funding. We're going to build it, and they will come. Right? Build it, and they will come. Woo! Yes, right. Absolutely. So that's where the ideas of kind of some of the designs come from. Another thing that I really liked was that just how old everything was and how much detail is in the buildings. Like carved things are in the buildings. Just everything is so intricate and detailed. I was thinking about that today, like even materials, because how cold it can get in Minnesota. So this place might not be open in the dead of winter, right? So I was thinking, what kind of materials could I use to make these outside of the mushroom cottages? Maybe even like some rubbery, foamy thing to make it feel spongy like a mushroom, like on the outside. Wouldn't that be neat? I want to think about real details, like even Disneyland. Hi, I'm doing great. You know how like Disneyland has just so many little details, little clues, and little things. I want to do that. I was thinking about that a lot. We could sit in like little mushroom chairs and have little gnomes everywhere and fairies and mystical creatures about. I don't know. I have some small little fireplaces in my, yes. Ooh, I like that, sunshine. Ooh, you're on my wavelength. You're on my wavelength. I love talking about ideas and things like that. So I'm thinking, where would I want to go on vacation? And I loved that European vacation, and I would love to incorporate all of that through there, right? Like, holy crap, what was the other thing I was thinking about? We could do we could have some venue space in there. Like I could rent it out for weddings if people wanted to. We could have an indoor space in case the weather wasn't good for weddings, but mostly people would want to have them outside because it's going to be in the forest, right? We have that. Oh, thank you, Ashraf. Oh, so yeah, yeah. Oh my goodness, so many cool things we could do. So many little design things. My stepdad that raised me, he's an owner of an architecture firm that builds resorts and stuff. Nothing like this. I might poke at him and see what he thinks. Several cottages, like a circle. Yes. Mm-hmm. That's exactly. So I was thinking like about a dozen cottages and doing that, like making a big circle, maybe some paths, but in the middle would be the town. So from the street, you would park outside. I'm building a wall around this thing. And then if you are not staying in one of the 12 little mushroom cottages, but you want to come in because you want to go to the events or shop in the little square, we got fresh maple syrup that was made by the maple trees right there in this forest, right? Like, and people want to buy that and any other crafty stuff, or they just want to be there, right? So, we can sell a limited amount of wristbands per day, right? Wouldn't that be neat? Yeah, it could be like the Renaissance Festival. We could have um, the farmers market there, right? And just at a certain time of day, you gotta go, like, but if you're staying there overnight, man, we would have some events every single night. like those all-inclusive resorts in Mexico. Have you been to one of those? I've seen like fire dancers and all kinds of crazy crap. I would get people out there entertaining us every single night if we wanted that. I would love some live music on the weekends, maybe something a little bit more mellow during the week. Who knows? I don't know. I would live on the property too. I've designed like this treehouse cottage, so the whole front door is the tree, right? That is the entrance, is the tree. But then it's a single story cottage built through like the back of it, a little hut and like little, like maybe like a little witch's hut, and you got like dried herbs hanging down and flowers and stuff, right? And big old cauldron. But I'm not a witch or nothing. But I am into that kind of decor. I think it would be fun. A slide? Yeah. I don't know if I could handle a slide with my old back and body, but that might be fun for some people. I live in Phoenix, Arizona, and we have a restaurant that's, I guess, is pretty famous for Phoenix called Wrestler's Roost. They have a big old slide, so you can slide down to the main eating floor, or you can take the stairs. And as a kid, I would absolutely get on that slide, and there was like sawdust everywhere and peanuts and crap on the floor, and they serve rattlesnake, but it tastes like chicken. For real, it really does. Rattlesnake tastes like chicken. They fry it up like clam strips, but it's rattlesnake. Welcome to Arizona, right? Like, go to Arizona. What do you want to eat? Let's go to Rustler's Roost and have some rattlesnake. I, but I would definitely go to a mushroom village. I wonder what kind of food we would serve up there besides just pastries. I've only been thinking about the bakery and the syrup and the candies, but I want to have like a full on restaurant with food there so that people staying there could be there all day if they wanted to, Um, I think there should be lots of different kinds of restaurants there and have full staff, and it'd be a good employer for the area because it's a little country town. But also we don't want a whole lot of people there. We it's a country, so that's why we got to limit it. 12, maybe a dozen cottages and only like a handful of day passes people could go in. And you have to have a reservation probably for that too, so you don't just drive up to the country and we're like sold out. Sorry, like that would be a bummer. I don't want people to be bummed out. I want people to be excited to show up. So I gotta think about all this stuff. But I don't know, stuff I'm thinking about. You guys thinking about doing anything? You got any dreams? Got anything you want to build? Something you want to plant during this? Yes, of course. What are your dreams? Tell me in the comments. Let's celebrate it. Let's come up with ideas together. I love it. I love it. Oh gosh. Oh, I didn't go into our yoga yet, and we're almost at 6 p.m. All right. So I can't pronounce this one. This one's a hard one to say, but it means seated forward fold, which is called Paschimottanasana. I need to get one of those translator things where it says it in my ear, but correctly, and then I can just say it because I can parrot, but like I think that was like a 15-letter word. Anyway, so tonight's yoga matches the astrology exactly, of course, our third quarter moon energy. So it's not a power pose, it's a release pose because this is a releasing moon. We're releasing something. So the seated forward fold, you would sit on your mat or your chair, extend your legs forward if you're on the floor. Or if you're seated in a chair, sit with your feet flat. Take a deep breath in, lengthen your spine, right? So let's do that. when you breathe in and think about pulling up from the top of your head as tall as you can. And exhale and let your shoulders go down and just release, release. Because that's what this moon is. We are releasing. Release what does not serve, right? Limiting beliefs, old stories, old patterns, negative self talk. Love yourself more than you love anybody else because you have to live with you all day, every day. Be nice to yourself. And I'm saying that to me just as much as I'm saying it to you, right? Be nice to yourself. Love yourself. Give yourself grace and relax tonight. Release. Relax tonight. That's your job. That's all I want you to do. Just relax. Right? So you do your seated forward fold, fold over, right? And when you do yoga, it is not just about the physical, it is a spiritual practice. Your emotions live in your body. All your past trauma, everything lives in your body. So when you're practicing yoga and you're moving through your body, you're moving through that stored up emotion that might be locked in there. Okay. So when we think about like Americans doing yoga, a lot of the time I feel like you're all missing the point. It's not about really just exercise. It's literally about moving your energy and emotions through your body and processing all of that because they get stuck in your body and it actually like is a blockage for you to have to move through. It's a literal like blockage in a plumbing, like a hairball in your sink. Okay, and you have to move it out to get the energy flowing naturally through and around in you, right? So when you do yoga and you move into the different poses and you really listen to your yoga instructor and what they're saying, if they know what what they're talking about, and do those things and think about the feelings, your emotions and how you feel in your body and where you feel it in your body as you're doing the different yoga poses. Okay, so that's my little for you on that. Okay, so that's our Taurus energy right now. We're building our foundation. Let's release what doesn't serve us. Love ourselves more. You can't release just through thinking. You have to move your body. There's this dude, I gotta look him up. I see him on everything, on every platform, but I think he does the Tai Chi, and I think he got famous just swinging his arms around. Like we kept seeing all these videos with him swinging his arms around and like flopping them, back and forth. I don't have room to do it in here, but the slapping and the hitting of the body, like gets the like really physically gets the emotional blocks out of your body. And people don't always connect that your emotions and your body are connected 100%. We may be spirits having a human experience, but we are having a human experience where we're in a physical 3D body. And just like the other animals on this planet, we have to move. You'll see, like your dog, if you don't exercise your dog, how depressed they get. If you don't exercise yourself, you will become depressed. Depression exists in people that don't move. And we have to move our body if you can, any way you can, because literally your emotions, all your trauma, all the crap you've been through in your life, you're holding it somewhere in your body. I hold it here. I work through it. No amount of massage gets rid of that. It's all about doing my inner work, not just thinking through it and pushing it through my body with the different yoga, right? So, love you all. I hope this helps somebody. I hope it caused an aha moment. I was all over the place. I am all over the place. I'm just a girl, I'm just a person, and I'm going to go left and right and up and down. And we're going to talk about everything. We're going to talk about our Phoenix. We're going to talk about astrology. We're going to talk about Buddhism. We're going to talk about yoga. We're going to talk about my hopes and dreams and your hopes and dreams. And we're going to figure out how to use all of that information together, all together now, to get through to the next step, find our way, whatever that way is, because it's different for all of us, right? It's different for everybody. But you're all great. You're doing great. And I'm very happy that you're showing up and talking to me about your dreams. Thank you for subscribing. I appreciate you, Sunshine. And I am trying to build these platforms because the more followers and subscribers I have, the more tools I get access to with the platforms and can do more fun things on these lives. I feel like it's so basic right now with what they allow me to use right now. So hopefully I get there. I'm just a few away from 1,000 on TikTok, and I'm getting there on on YouTube slowly but surely. I think I got to get somewhere like 500 subscribers to get to what I need to do for YouTube anyway. So it's so much fun getting to know all of you. Please keep coming. I'll be back tomorrow, 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. We're going to be prepping for that solar eclipse. Holy moly, that's going to be interesting. I'm happy to do it with you, though. All right, guys. I love you. Have a good night.